Hi there, this is David, and welcome to my review of Voice of Cards, The Beasts of Burden, released for the PC, PS4, and Switch digitally. Before we begin with the full review, I would like to thank Square Enix for sending me a free copy of this game for review. Within the past year alone, there have been 3 different Voice of Cards games released, and I played and reviewed the demo of the first one, and I really let my feelings be known there. Spoiler alert, I didn't really like it. So I went ahead and I ignored the second one, but for whatever reason, I was intrigued by this one. So whenever I saw that it was announced on the recent Nintendo Direct, I figured, what the hey, I'll give it a shot. Considering how I did feel about the first one, I didn't have high hopes, but this time I knew what I was getting myself into, and overall, I was actually pleasantly surprised. The Voice of Cards series is very different than anything else put out by Square Enix, and I have found that in order to enjoy them, I do have to be in a particular kind of mood, a state of mind where I can be immersed into the atmosphere and the world they've created. It almost feels like you're playing a game of Dungeons & Dragons with the narrator as the dungeon master. So I tried to leave all my preconceived notions at the door, and on a lonely, windy autumn night, I thought that I'd give it a shot, and I went into the game with an open mind. While available on console, I did play the Steam version, and here you can't use a traditional controller. I was forced to use a mouse and a keyboard, so from the very get-go, I was annoyed. But I quickly did get used to it. The controls are pretty simplistic, and I really didn't have any issues. Less is more, as they say, and the music is also minimalistic, as are the graphics. Everything here is represented by cards. The characters, the monsters, the NPCs, the shops, the weapons, and even the little tiles that you travel across. You play as a subterrane, the only surviving member of a tribe who lives underground. However, once your village is attacked and your cavern destroyed, you're forced to make your way into the overworld for the first time, only to see that the world is actually kind of like a hellscape, baking under the heat of an eternal sun. So you and your partner go on an adventure to seek revenge for the slaughter of the villagers, meeting colorful characters along the way, and then finally pivoting to a more personal journey of seeing the stars and helping out the people of this oppressed, straitjacket-wearing world. Random turn-based battles occur on the overworld as well as in dungeons, and as a subterrane, you're able to capture and subjugate monsters, controlling their abilities and then using their powers, kind of blue magic style. Oddly enough, even though your party members aren't subterranes, they can also use that blue magical ability too. And here's where the true battle mechanics lie. Each of your party members can equip up to 5 different summon cards, and you spend gems to summon the monsters to your side. Each turn you gain another gem, so you'll be summoning quite often. And while the battle system does seem simplistic on the surface, I actually found it to be pretty addictive and quite fun, because no one said that simple has to be boring. It's also balanced pretty well, so the majority of the trash mobs get wiped out relatively quickly, while the bosses do take a bit more strategy. Characters aren't just blank slates either. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses, along with passive abilities, so you're going to want to take those into account whenever you're outfitting them with the latest summons. There are some neat quality of life improvements too, such as, once you reveal a card, you can actually just jump there instantly. It kind of works as a form of quick travel. You can use this in the overworld as well as the first level of dungeons, but not later on in the darker levels. Then, you can turn on fast forward to make the battles go at like super speed, and all of your next objectives are highlighted, so you're never really wondering what to do next. And, like any good game of Dungeons & Dragons, there is quite a bit of lore to be found by examining cards to learn more about the various characters and monsters. I will say that this game is not for everybody. This is kind of a niche within a niche within a niche, and it really is kind of one of those love it or hate it type of games. But as I said before, I came in with an open mind, and I actually found the plot twists to be pretty gripping and the gameplay to be strangely addicting. I mean, don't come in expecting a masterpiece, but if you just want a quiet diversion that you can beat on the weekend, spend about 10 to 15 hours on, then this is the game for you. So, that's it for my review of the Voice of Cards, The Beasts of Burden. If you like this video and what I do here on the channel, please consider supporting me over on Patreon for exclusive videos and early access to my content, heading on over to Twitch for some streaming fun, or coming over to my Discord to chat and hang out. The links to them all can be found in the video description. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.